So if you wait until the last minute to sit here and check in, you gonna have the seat from hell next to Lucifer. I'm gonna let you know that now. Unless you just like misery. Some folks like that. Hey you guys, it's Jess Rog. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, I kind of touch on being a surgical tech student while going through motherhood and along with traveling. And if you're returning back to my channel, thank you. It is appreciated. Don't forget to hit that notification button, okay? So every time I upload a video, y'all gonna know, okay? So let's get right into it. So this video is going to be touching kind of like a part 2 of how to book your first flight. This is kind of how to prepare for your first flight and your first trip. Of the, the do's and the don'ts and what to be on the lookout for. So the first thing you want to do after you have booked your flight and you got your confirmation, your reservation number, what you want to do is kind of think about how are you going to pack for this trip. So you already have your destination. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you have the right clothing to where you're going to. So I would say when you start packing, make sure you have at least like 2 or 3 pairs of pants, 2 or 3 pairs of long sleeve shirts, shoes, Snickers, whatever you want to call them, Snickers, sneakers, and maybe some flip-flops and maybe some nice dress shoes. So just in case if you do go somewhere formal, you have formal and casual wear. So one thing I messed up on in the past when I went to Chicago in 2009 was I brought a swimming suit in the month of March. Don't do that. Do not do that. It is still snowing in March in Chicago. That was like the dumbest traveling decision I ever made in life. When you are packing your clothes or any like liquids within your luggage, make sure you have like travel size deodorant, travel size toothpaste, toothbrushes, just small little things for, your hygiene when you are traveling. Make sure they are packed up at least the night before to make sure you don't forget anything. You can have a toothbrush at home, but have a toothbrush for traveling. I learned to have travel size deodorant, travel size toothpaste, because I have done in the past of bringing my own stuff from home or remembering like, hey, okay, I got to pack this up, and I get all the way to my destination and I have no toothpaste. I have no deodorant. Forgot my damn toothbrush. So make sure you have your own personal type of hygiene products that you travel with aside from the stuff that you have at home. Absolutely whatsoever, no liquids within your carry-on bags. So if you, like I said, if you do have like lotion and everything, put that in your actual luggage that you're getting checked in, because they're not going to really let you bring liquids on, like big bottles of liquids. Like you could bring like a little small thing of hand lotion and everything, but be aware of when you're packing to make sure your stuff is very secure. The liquids in your bag are very secure, because it could waste all on your luggage within that. So while you're getting ready for your flight, I would say you might want to start preparing at least 2 weeks ahead, so you can kind of get everything in line, from if you have pets, if you have kids, or if your kids are coming with you, how you're going to take those days off of work, PTO. So those 2 weeks to 3 to 2 weeks, I would say that the 2 to 3 weeks, start trying to make sure you have those days off. You should already have those days off before then if you are going to plan the trip. So keep that in mind. On my last video that I explained when it comes to the email, make sure you have a valid email, because all your updates go to that email or updated phone number, valid phone number. So when anything changes with the flight or with, just anything overall, they will email you or they will shoot you a text message. So keep that in mind. Keep your email, check your email constantly, at least within the 2 to 3 week span leading all the way up to your trip. Next, you want to make sure that you have the right amount of spending money. So what I like to do is I like to make sure I have at least $500 to $600 before I go on my trip. You can always save more. That is up to you and your beautiful little pockets. Me, I'm frugal as hell. I'm not going over $500, $600. I'm not about to bring a whole stack unless I truly feel like I truly need to. So think about how much money you want to spend when you want to go on your vacation, on your trip. So the next big thing you really want to worry about after you kind of have your valid email, you know how much money you want to take with you, you know how you want to pack your stuff, is finding an Airbnb, hotel, food, attractions. All that is like the next big thing that's going to make your trip worthwhile and having a good time. I'm going to say this probably quite a few times. Google and YouTube are the best places to look at when you're trying to find the attractions, the food, any reviews, hotels, Airbnb, cars, all of that. Right. First thing you need to be looking for: hotels, Airbnbs. Hotels aren't bad. Airbnbs seem like they're a little bit more lenient, I guess, a little more free. When it comes to the hotels, you have to make sure you look at the fine print, because there will probably be some fees that I'm telling you don't know nothing about until you go to that check-in desk, and it's going to piss you off because you have to pay an extra $150 just because, and you don't even know why. Airbnbs, I like them personally. Like I said, it's more free. So you get to kind of pick, what type of bedrooms you want. If you want 1 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Where if you want a city view, or ocean view, a loft, an actual house with a backyard. Like, it's up to you. You get all of those type of choices. If you want a non-smoking Airbnb, a smoking Airbnb. I said Airbnb. Well, one thing I will say, if you say that you are a smoker, it is going to narrow a lot of your choices down, probably depending on what area you're staying in. But yes, when it comes to Airbnbs, you definitely have much of a bigger selection when it comes to picking where you would like to stay. After you figure out where you want to stay, next thing you need to know is transportation. How are you going to get around? Are you going to take public transportation? Are you going to take Lyft, Uber? Are you going to walk? You got to know these things. When it comes to the transportation, what you might want to think about is, how much you're going to have to, like, let's say if you do take public transportation, find out about their city pass, their day pass. If you're taking an Uber or Lyft, what I like to do is before I get to my destination, at least a day ahead, I will bring up the Lyft app and I'll just type in the address of where I'm staying at to where I want to go to. And that gives me an estimation of how, what money to have on my card to when it's about that time to catch my ride. So I can just estimate it. Okay, I know it's going to be $15 to get from my Airbnb to this restaurant. So I know way ahead of time. I'm just a planner. I like to know things ahead. Just to make sure you guys understand me with the Lyft. Okay, so I put the address in, destination to drop off, pick up to drop off, right? So I put all that in. I do not hit select whatsoever, because before you hit select, it's going to give you an estimate of it already. So you don't have to, hit it. That's just to give you an idea of what to expect when you get there. Like attractions, what I like to do is, like I said, Google, YouTube is like the best thing to kind of get your reviews on where you want to go eat at or where you want to go see. So first off is attractions. So attractions, I'll Google like, popular attractions in Memphis. Okay. It's going to bring up everything from different little websites of what there is to see there. Sightseeing, anything. Next is, food. Almost lost track. Food. Same thing. You would Google, food restaurants, popular food restaurants in this area, blah, 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 this and that. And also, if you were very frugal with your dollar, like I said, like me, I'm very, very frugal with my dollar. I like to get the most out of it. So I will Google free attractions, cheap restaurants, or if there's a certain particular restaurant I want to see, then I'll be like, okay, well, I'll spend the money on that. It's worth it. After you find out where you want to stay, what you want to do, how you're going to get around, what you want to eat, what you want to go see, all that good old stuff, the main thing you need to be worried about leading up to that trip is your airport. Now, your airport is the most important part of this trip, because you need to know how that shit flows. If it's, busy, you might want to be there about 2.5 hours early. See, down here in Atlanta, I'm right outside of Atlanta. And your best bet is to be there at least about 2.5, 3 hours ahead. Right now with the COVID going on, I was able to make it there an hour and a half or two before then with my son, and things were like, right now it's slow. But any other time, baby, you better be at the airport at least about 3 hours ahead at least. And same thing with, you know, when I was in Kansas City. Yeah, I will make sure I was there at least an hour and a half early, because Kansas City is a little bit more slower than Atlanta. The next thing you want to make sure you invest in before you go on this flight: a neck pillow and a blanket. This came together. I got this from the Kansas City airport when I was traveling a few years ago to Tampa. This comes in handy because this, oof, that feels so good. I'll use this in the house, just sit on the couch and I'll just lay on this. This is so beautiful. But yes, invest in one of these before you go on your flight. They are pretty cheap, and you probably go to Five and Below. I believe there are some ones at Five and Below. Very cheap. You can't beat it. It gets a little cold on that airplane because you got to think about it. You're about 30,000 feet in the air with the clouds and the birds and Jesus. Yeah, it gets a little cold on the airplane, just to let you know. So definitely wear something long sleeve, unless you're just a person that's just naturally just gets hot. Other than that, bring you a nice little blanket. So the next thing you want to keep an idea in your head is make sure you have your chargers, make sure you have your tablet. Of course, you're going to bring your cell phone. Of course, why not? You need to make sure you have all your electronics, your laptop, all that good old stuff, iPad, whatever it is. Make sure you have those along with those chargers. And if to be on the safe side, charge it up before you get to the airport. Don't get me wrong, they have like little plug-in portals and everything, but I like to have my stuff plugged in so I don't have to sit in a certain spot that I'm uncomfortable in. So always bring all your electronics, chargers, laptops, all that good old stuff, because once you get on the airplane, you're gonna have to pay for like $8 Wi-Fi. That's up to you. Like I said, what's with your pockets? This cool. No, I like to have my music downloaded, my movies downloaded already on my phone. So when I put it in airplane mode, it can play automatically no matter what. So last but not least, I cannot stress this enough: check-ins. Okay, so I screwed up last week when I was on my way back to Kansas City and didn't check in within 24 hours of that frame before the flight. So if you do not check in, you are screwed. You're going to get the seat from hell sitting next to Lucifer. And no one really wants that unless you're miserable. So that is all that I have for today when it comes to traveling. I hope this video helped you. I hope this information helped you when it comes to traveling, doing your first flight, your first trip, planning. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are new, I will love it and I will greatly appreciate it. And if you are already a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.